It was late at night. You wake up at 2 a.m. in your cabin near a city. You should have went back to sleep, you thought, but you were planning to get groceries that night. It was a fool of you to get out and do it early in the morning, you thought, while on the sidewalk. If it wasn't scaring you enough, after a while when you stepped upon a parking lot, you stopped. The moonlight and the parking lot lights weren't enough to see what you were looking at. It was just a person, it seemed. You laughed it off and continued going to the grocery store, or what it looks like to be a grocery store. 5 minutes later, you realize you are still in the parking lot. You check your phone. 10 p.m. 10 p.m.? You've been walking for 10 minutes. You look behind you, and the only thing you see is that figure. You ran and ran until you couldn't run anymore. When you found a safe space, you went on your phone to tell your loved ones you love them. You texted them, then checked your time. But your phone said 2 a.m. and you woke up in the cabin again. But the only thing you saw, startled looking to the other side, is that figure with its fermented nails, its red body, lightened up by your phone. Its eyes had the effect of 1,000. Its eyes sparkled with a hue of darkness. It looked at you saying one word. 10 p.m. Let me in. Those 3 words came out from the darkness just beyond my fence line. A raspy voice accompanying the chirps of the crickets called out again. Let me in. I peered into the void that was my backyard, hoping to find something that would give an explanation to this. Maybe it's just a tree rubbing the old barn just right, was my only thought. That is, until I saw the face staring at me from the corner of the barn. Hello? I called out, hoping it was just a neighborhood kid playing a prank. Let me in. Came those 3 words again. This time the voice sounded like my wife's, but slightly more hoarse than normal. I knew it couldn't have been her because she was sleeping in our king-size bed surrounded by practically 1,000 pillows. I had only gotten up because our dog had to go out. At this point, it was safe to say that I was mildly sketched out and slightly terrified of what this person wanted, or who it even was. I'm not sure who you are, but I've got a dog that says you won't make it 20 feet past where you're standing. I yelled out with the intent of scaring whomever away. I wish that was what happened. But instead, the figure got closer. I need to come in, came the broken guttural response. It did this to me. From the light of the moon, I could just make out the general shape of the figure and some very minute details. But what I saw was more than enough to give me nightmares for the rest of my life. It appeared to be a woman with sagging skin, almost like it didn't fit her right. Her hair was dark and wispy. The worst part were her eyes. I could just barely make out the fact that her eyes appeared sunken and hollow. When she moved her head towards the side, I saw two very small flashes of light, as if the moon had reflected onto a small bit of her eye itself. Bo, my Rottweiler, was standing between my legs, hair upraised, teeth bared. When I looked back up, the figure was standing within arm's reach, jaw unhinged. "It's your turn," this thing said, without any sort of movement. That's when everything went black.